Hello, I'm Mathieu from ludovox.fr and I'm going to give you an overview of Attack of the Jelly Monster. So of the Jelly Monster is basically a story about a town being attacked by a jelly monster, and you are a team of scientists and you want to get the most jelly because it is subject to research. So you want to collect the most jelly, and it is a placement game, a dice placement game. Also, it is a majority game, and it involves simultaneous play. So it plays for 3 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, for about 15 minutes. So it plays over the course of 4 rounds, and every round of the game you're going to roll your 7 dice and to allocate them on different districts. And these are very important because they allow you to score majorities. And for example, if I have the majority on this district, I'm going to score 3 jelly points, 3 victory points. But you can notice there is a crank here, and I can move it, and that token indicates that now if I move it here, I can score 6 points instead of 3. Same goes here. Instead of 7, I could probably get 0 if my opponents get in the way and see that I have put too much dice on there. We also have podiums. We can gain a variety of bonuses through those districts. So how do we play the game? I told you that it involves simultaneous play, and this is really true. At some point, the round is going to start and we're going to roll dice. We're going to roll our dice inside our screens or barriers, and we can allocate or re-roll any dice that we want. We can allocate only one die at the same time, and we can re-roll any of our unallocated die. That means that, for example, if I want to take control of this district, I could just place my die here, and then if the rest doesn't suit my liking, I can re-roll. But then, you know, it's worth 6 points, so my opponents could probably think, okay, this is a lot, I need to do something. So there are 2 things that they can do. The first thing they can do is place a 3 or 4, because 5s and 6s, they are really good, but they have no powers. But 3 and 4s, they have an optional power, and that power is moving the crank. So for example, in this case, if that player would place a 4, that player could say, okay, you know, you have the majority, okay, but I'm going to lower that to a 3 point instead of 6. So it's not really good. I've taken too much of a risk, and I've spent a good die doing so. The other thing that people could do to me is, for example, if I had the majority here, with a 6, for example, another player could place a 1 or 2, and 1 and 2s are really weak majority-wise, but they have a tremendous optional power, and that power is removing an opponent's die. So for example, in this case, black could say, okay, blue, you know what? Take your die and put it here in the city center, and this basically steals the majority from me because I had only 1 die, so I'm going to lose that majority, and the black player is going to score majority with a really small die. So you're going to do that until 1 player has no more dice. So for example, let's imagine we are doing things like these, and then once 1 player doesn't have any more dice, that player uses their screen and covers the district. That means that no one else can play dice for the remainder of the round. And that player also flips the hourglass, and at the end of the hourglass, if you haven't played all of your dice, well, that's bad luck for you. So then we are going to count the majorities. So for example, in this case, I have 7 points against 4, so I win as blue, and I take 1 jelly point because I am there. That black player would score 7 points. In this case, we have a podium, so it depends on your place in the podium. If you are the first one, you gain 2 points. Second one, you gain 4 points, and third one, you gain 7 points. But you can also flip it, and this is a bit different because in this case, the first one gets 7 points and the third one 2 points. So there are a lot of things. There is also jelly pods that you can win, and you can also win them by having the most dice at the city center. This is kind of like a catch-up mechanic. So they have a random value behind them, so you gain points, secret points, for the end of the game. So you have a wide variety of effects, like the podiums, the straight points, giving or receiving points from the other players. So you have a wide variety of effects because all of the districts are double-sided and you can play with any of them. So once you have done all of that, the players take their dice back to them. So you have always 7 dice at disposal. You're going to flip the marker around to another round. You're going to turn the city around so that the players have different districts in front of them every round, and then you can start another round of the game. After the 4th round, you're going to add up the points that you have accumulated plus the points behind the jelly pods, and the highest total wins. You know almost everything, if not everything, about Attack of the Jelly Monster, so you kind of realize it's quite frantic, and you're going to basically try to move your dice around by taking the opponents into account and possibly dislodging them or making huge deals worth nothing. That's it. You know everything about this game, so bye bye and see you on LudoChrono.fr.